Hello everybody, I'm Catherine from Stitch Happens, and today I'm going to show you how to make a pillow cover from an old t-shirt. Okay, so everybody's got t-shirts lying around, perhaps something like this with a logo on it or a plain one, and you don't really feel like wearing it anymore, so you want to just change it into something else. So you'll start with this and you'll end up with something looking like this. So for this project, you're going to need either a pillow form, or you can use stuffing as we did in our pillow. You'll need a ruler, some pins, hand sewing needles, thread, and a washable marker. I've also taken the time to draft myself a simple pattern. One is a rectangle that's 16 by 14. I've just used tissue paper. And the other is a square that is 14 by 14. These will form the front and back of your t-shirt pillow cover. Okay, for our first step, I've taken a t-shirt and I'm laying it out flat, and I've cut off both of the sleeves and the neckline. I've also taken the t-shirt and cut up the sides, right up the side seam, or if there's no side seam, figure out where the middle is and just cut that. So both of these are now flat pieces. Okay, so you're going to take your front piece, which will be the front of your pillow, lay it out, and you're going to mark a square that's 14 by 14, or you're going to take your pattern. This is why I like to use a pattern, especially with a logo t-shirt, because you can center your logo and it'll be centered this way. It'll be centered on your pillow. So you can probably kind of see through this paper right now why the logo on the t-shirt is kind of in the middle of the front of the pillow. So what you're going to do is pin that on there, or mark it with your washable marker, and then you're going to cut that piece out. Okay, and then you're going to take the back piece, again, lay it out flat, and you're going to cut the other piece that is 16 by 14. So this piece is a little bit bigger than the front piece, and that's to allow for a little flap that we're gonna make so that the pillow can sit in that and not fall out, and you don't have to stitch it up. Okay, so that's the next step. So cut this out, and then we'll move on to the next step. So I'm cutting out my pieces. Make sure you have a good sharp pair of scissors that you haven't used for cutting paper or anything, because if you have, they might be a little bit dull and you'll have a difficult time cutting through the fabric. At our house, we only have scissors for fabric and we have scissors for paper. So if you do a lot of crafts, it would be a good idea to keep some scissors that you use just for your fabric crafts. Okay, so now I have two pieces cut out. There's the front of my pillow cover. And the back of my pillow cover. As you can see, the back is longer than the front. So I'll show you next how we put that together. So the next step is you're going to thread your sewing needle. As you can see, I've threaded it approximately with about a foot or so of thread, and then I've taken it and I've just twisted it and turned it to make a little knot at the end so it doesn't come out of your fabric. So we're going to take the bottom part of your t-shirt front. Okay, so see this has Canada on it, so we want our Canada looking this way. So this is the bottom edge of your cover. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over now, and I've folded over about 1/2 inch, and I'm going to sew this with what we call a running stitch. So it's a little bit hard for you to see because this is black, but basically what you're doing is you're bringing your thread up through the fabric and back down, and then back through the fabric, and you're going to do this all the way along the edge of this cover. So just keep going. That will take you probably take you about 10 minutes to do this. You want to keep your stitches fairly small, close together, so when you bring your needle in, you bring it in and then just up the tiniest little bit to come through. Okay, this is why you don't want your thread to be too long, because then you start having problems with the thread tangling into itself. So just go all the way along and just do this little running stitch all the way along the edge of the front of your pillow. Okay, and on the back of your pillow, when you're finished that, you're just going to take the back of your pillow, this is the front of the back of the pillow, and you're going to, where your edges of your t-shirt, and you're just going to take that on the wrong side and turn that up about 2 inches. And this is where your ruler comes in handy. Just measure that 2 inches. And you're going to pin that in place right across the front. Not a lot of pins, just maybe 2 or 3 pins just to keep it in place. And if you really want to keep that looking crisp, you can take that to your ironing board and iron that. Okay. Okay, so next we have our front piece, and we've stitched very nicely across the front edge. You can see we've done our running stitch and it's ready to go. The back part we've pinned up 2 inches from the bottom, and we're using that existing hem from the t-shirt to finish off our edge. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put these 2 pieces together. So your stitched edge and your folded edge are going to match up here, and your 3 sides should match up together. So the next thing we're going to do, once we've matched these up, we're going to pin them. And you don't need a lot of pins here, just enough to keep it in place, because you're going to be sewing this together in a minute. So we're just going to put our pins here and here, just inside the seam line where we're sewing, so that it stays together while we're sewing our project. Okay, so we're just pinning up the 3 sides. This is open, no pins in here. Now if you're finding that your t-shirt's wanting to curl, again, if you have an iron and an ironing board, you can just go and iron that and they'll stay a little bit flatter for you. So again, you're going to take your needle and thread, and you're going to start stitching from one of the edges right here, and you're just going to go all the way around the edge of your square to the very end. So this should take you maybe 20 minutes or so to do by hand, or maybe less, whatever. So you're just going to leave this edge open here, stitch all the way around the remaining 3 sides of your square. Okay, so now that you've sewn all the way around the 3 sides of your cover, we're going to take it, stick our hand inside, and just pull it right side out. Okay, just give that a little poke there so your corners are sharp. You can take your scissors and give that a little push. Be careful, be gentle. And you'll have some corners there, okay? And so this is essentially what your pillow cover should look like right now. You'll have an opening at the bottom of your pillow, the edges that you've stitched up, and then you have what you can see here now is a little pocket. So this is where your pillow is going to sit when you insert the pillow form. So now we've inserted our pillow form inside. You can see it's sitting snugly inside this little pocket, and the edge is just folding over. If you feel like your pillow form may show, you can also add a couple of pieces of Velcro or snaps, but essentially this is what your pillow is going to look like. I hope you enjoyed our little tutorial on how to make a pillow cover out of a t-shirt, and have a great day.